Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Everybody give me a sound check. Let me know if you hear me okay, if I see you. You guys pinging me in Discord? Okay. How we doing, guys? Testing, testing, testing. Let me know if you guys in chat, please. Let me know if you guys hear me or see me. Please, I see myself, but I just want to make sure. Good morning, Gordon. Good morning, everybody. We have a really, really fun day today because obviously PPI came out. PPI, let me see if I can do this without my glasses. This will be interesting. Let's see if I can actually see and trade without my glasses. All right, I got my charts all set. We are going to trade as much as we possibly can, given the news, which is definitely nice and volatile for us. I traded in front of the news here. Here's where's my all? Hang on a second. Let me make sure I have the right. Trade this. Yeah, here we go. I traded NASDAQ here. I bought a couple of NASDAQs on the pop back up. News today is PPI was 5 against 2. Very, very hot. Obviously very negative. But as you can see, knee-jerk reaction. The market just doesn't want to go down. And those of you who are kind of joining me, I'm going to explain to you what we do here. How we scalp. I'm going to try and do 10 trades in the next hour and a half. We'll see if we get the setups. That assumes I get the setups for the trades. But most importantly, and this is something that I think is really interesting. I kind of just realized this literally like 20 minutes before the show started. We're going to trade long only. I have just been looking through all of my runs, and I do like sometimes 50 trades a day. I've been looking through all my runs. And it's just unbelievable at the ratio of wins on the long side versus the short side. And there's a couple of reasons for why I want to trade long only. But the two most dominant ones is that for now, and I mean like on a yearly scale, on a like a monthly scale, on some large scales, gold, S&P, NASDAQ are all effectively in an uptrend. Right? There is a upside bias to all of these instruments. If you look back, they're higher than they were a year ago. And that simply makes it much easier to trade from the upside. The flows to the upside, sorry, something's in my eye. Flows to the upside are simply much easier to handicap and trade. Now, having said this, we're going to trade for tiny little bits every time. We're just going to extract a small amount of scalps all the time. Very, very simple strategy. I'm going to show you exactly how we do this. But just even if we just imagine it's a 55-45 tilt, that tilt is the edge. And all we need to do is just wait for the edge to set up and take advantage of the edge as much as possible. So we're looking at NAS right now before the market opens up. And you can see NAS is clearly well above the 8-period SMA. What we do, and I'm going to show you in excruciating detail, is I am simply, although in this case, no, that's right. These were all both long trades, right? I am simply just buying any dip below the 8 SMA as long as it's a higher high. And a higher high means, like as you can see over here, the cross over here was higher than it was over here. The cross over here was higher than it was over here. Just a slight tilt. This would have been a great buy too. It wouldn't have been a great buy. I take it back. This would not have been a great buy because this actually is a lower high. You see, this is a cross at a higher level. This is a cross at a lower level. So I would have passed on this, even though this trade would have worked. Same thing in gold. Here's gold. I would give it a second for it to come in. But I had gold trade. I did gold trades on my other account before. Wow, this is so slow today. Oh, it's taking its time. Gold, excellent. You see, gold, for example, over here, big sell off, right? I won't take this trade because it's much lower crossing. It crosses over the 8 period much from the last time, much lower. But this time, this to this. This is the relative move. You see, I want to show it to you maybe like this. If I use the circle, you can see this is so this is an area clearly, right? Control C, Control V. Oh no. Okay. I'm just going to do this once because I really suck at annotating. If I wanted to be an artist, I'd be an artist. I'm not an artist. I'm a trader. So you can see higher, low, beautiful setup straight up. Even here, marginally higher, beautiful setup straight up. Even here right now as we're talking, is this going to, if this clears the 8 period SMA, we're going to take the gold trade, right? We're going to take it nice and easy. Let me see if I can take this here. We got 2 seconds, 1 second, boom. Okay, so long gold. Now I also have Trade Evade working. So now we're going to hear order filled, which is actually will help me assess the trades as we go along. And I got stumped. No problem. This is happens once in a while. We nice volatility. The trade was a correct trade. Didn't work. No big deal. Going to go back again. If this closes above the moving average, I'll go right back into this trade again. Okay, this is just the typical gold playing games with us. Waiting for the candle to close. It needs to close. So right now, not holding the 8 period SMA, therefore not a setup. So the other thing that I did with all my scalps, which I think you guys will find very interesting, is I've tightened them up to a very, very clean take profit ratio. It's a 0.7 on gold with a 1.5 stop. It's 5 points on NASDAQ with a 10 stop, and it's 3/4 of a point on S&P with a 1.5 stop point. Gold dying on me right now. So gold is not crossing. If gold needs to cross above the 8 SMA in order for me to become, legitimately a trade, but not doing it. Right now, it is kind of holding it. We'll see if it can hold the trade. S&P also, see, we're looking at the S&P right now. Ran up nice and hot over here. Now it's dropping below the SMA. So if it drops below, comes back above, higher low, I'm taking this trade. I'm taking the trade. Same with the Dow. Now the only issue with all of this right now is that in the Dow we're going to trade with a 10-20, not 10-30, 10-20. Just 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. I'm trying to hit. Yesterday I did about 80% of my trades. It means 8 winners, 2 losers for a net +4, which is where I want to be. Or 10. Sorry, it was actually 10 winners, 2 losers for a net +4. Every loser is a -2. Every winner is a +1. So +10 -4 was +6. That's really basically where I want to be as far as my trades go. Yes, I trade every single day. We do this, all day long in BK. And the idea here is we're going to trade very tight, very controlled for high probability, small but consistent profits, right? Let's take a look back to gold. Gold not doing it. Gold clearly consolidating, right? So when you're trading the higher lows, as I showed you, right? The trip up, and this happens all. This is why it's a 10-2 trade. Otherwise it'd be a 10-0 trade. Is that it will die at the highs, right? If you're trading strictly to the long, and I'm only going to trade to the long side today, just because I like the long side bias, even though we have negative news. And you will inevitably get stuck with this one loss at the highs because it just doesn't have continuity. Sometimes you get lucky and you get that last continuity at the highs, and then it starts to dump down, and then you just step away. So like right now, we got clipped on this one trade. To the downside. How come I'm actually, why is this not showing? Let me see. I want to see if why is it not showing my, oh, I know why. Sorry, I'm showing you micro gold. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Okay, we're on micro gold. I'm like, okay. We're trading the largest today, large contracts. This is the S&P. So the S&P comes back up over here. I will take it. The danger of me taking the S&P over here, only one danger is I got 5 minutes before the open. The 5 minutes before the open, all these rules go out the window. Everything, there is no continuity. It's all volatility, and you can get basically buzzsawed into a trade. So the intelligent thing is to kind of step away. But I wanted to do as many trades as possible with you to show you the setups, so that you can really get the idea of the kind of trades and the kind of possibilities you can do, as long as you understand the timing and the structure of the markets. Same thing with NASDAQ. I'm just sitting here waiting. Everything is sort of either setting up for a push up to to reversal highs, or we're going to get clipped. We're going to just start going to the downside, and then we have to wait for it to kind of consolidate on the downside, make higher lows, and then trade back up to the upside. So we'll have to see how it trades out. Right now, it looks like we're all curling down. You can see the 8-period SMA starting to curl down. I'm actually going to make the 8-period. Let me see if I can make it this way. Do a little bit thicker for you. Is that better? Do you guys like the blue color? Do you want any other color for the SMA, or is that pretty clear for you as far as visibility? So I'm curling away. So far, as long as we don't breach this kind of a level over here, it's still going to be a higher low if it turns back up above the moving average, and I'll be happy to take it. I'm going to cycle through everything here. Nothing much happening. Everything is underneath, so there's no. Oops, sorry, I'm going the wrong trades here. I want to make sure I'm not trading the micros. I'm trading the largest. All right, nothing much going on over here. What are the settings for this indicator? This is actually a very advanced indicator called Super Scalper, and it actually has a whole bunch of different settings. It's only available to BK members. I put up the links if you want to join us at BK. So you can't find it on TradingView. No point in talking about settings unless you come into to BK. But what it kind of shows you is, first of all, the price action against the 8-period SMA. I'm watching the S&P. 40 seconds left. Let's see this candle. Let's see if can we light this candle on fire. And this thing does a whole bunch of stuff that I've sort of taken off the charts, so that we have pure, clean price action scalping, so we're not distracted. But I'll be happy to show you all the bells and whistles of this indicator in just a minute. I just want to see if the S&P. I got 5 minutes in front. I'm gonna bite the bullet. If this thing clears the SMA, which is right here, like right over here, 47. It closes 47.50 at the candle mark. I'm gonna take this trade. I'm going to have fun with it. But we got to see it closing 47.50. All right, good enough. I'm long. I'm long here. My target is going to be 48, 3/4 of a point. Right? Okay, so 48, looking for the target. Let's see if it clears. And again, I'm right here, 47.25. Looking for 48 on the ladder. Very, very tight risk control. It's either going to pop back up or we're going to kind of die here. 5 minutes in front of the the market open is always problematic, but let's give it a shot. I'm going to show you the setups that we do. So I need to see it. Wait, hold on a second. Why is this? It needs to be at 48. I got to move I just moved my targets. It's 3/4 target. I'm just looking for a 3/4 target with a 1.5 stop. So let's see if it takes me out. Take me out. Not quite. I'm sitting on the offer here, and S&P is thick, so it doesn't necessarily get you lifted. So by the way, those of you who are wondering how I'm trading this, I'm trading Apex Trade Evade account. This is, I don't know if you probably can't see it because I have to share the different screen, but it's a Trade Evade account that's connected to my trading view, and I'm able to trade off the charts with my indicators on it. That's what makes it so really, really clean and comfortable. All right, so we need to see them lift the 47.5s. It's not happening right now. Closer we get to the 930, the more likely it's going to be a stop out. But it was worth a shot. The reason why it's going to be a stop out is because they're going to there's a guarantee there's a ton of sell orders on the open because the news was negative, and I just thought we might have enough juice to pop us up, but we don't, and we're up. Yeah, and I kind of knew that was happening. I'm going to do a couple of trades with you that are not like perfect trades, just to show you the setup. Because it doesn't matter. One of the things you're going to realize is when you're trading small stops, you can take a few stops. It's not going to affect your end of day trades. It will work. So now my hands are tied. We got a minute to the open. I really can't, in all consciousness, take any trades right now. I have to wait for the first 3 minutes of market action to clear themselves. I wonder if it's interesting. Had I taken the NASDAQ 80.75, yeah, I could have. I would have possibly made money on NASDAQ had I taken that. One of the problems is sometimes you don't always get the correct instrument. So watching gold, watching everything. Now we got 9:29 and 13 seconds. Well, we're going to wait for the open to happen. So my suspicion, maybe I'm wrong, my suspicion is they're going to probably dump the open and then take it back up because news was negative, and I figured there must be retail flow to the downside. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Market opening up, a little bit of vol, not a lot of vol. Surprisingly, not a lot of vol in the open. I guess most of the stuff happened on pre-news. Let's see what happens here. Wow, really, really surprising that there's very little volatility going on here. Okay, NASDAQ is actually showing a halfway decent trade. I have to wait till the candle closes, otherwise it's not a legitimate cross on the SMA. The other thing that I'm always leery of is buying too far away from the SMA, but we're going to try and do it again. So let's see, 12. NASDAQ is really, really pumping. All right, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna chase the NASDAQ here. Let's see if it works for us. 96 is my target on the move here. Got more or less on the entry here, but it's coming back too far away from the move. Let's see if I can just survive the stop and let it pop. Nope. I'm getting killed on all my trades here on the cross. This was frustrating because I'm sure this is going to be a good trade. I'm actually going to go back into it. I'm going to see if I can try and do it one more time. I'm taking very, very small trades relative to my account size. So I'm not really, and I'm taking small size. So if I'm getting clipped on the first 3 or 4 trades, I'm not going to cry about it. The idea here, though, is that this is the problem with my original trade is I mistimed the entry. The entry, you want to be near the moving average. When you're scalping, you want to be as close to the moving average as possible. And when you're buying so far ahead, the retrace trade is what kills you. You're right on the trade and just wrong on the entry, which is a classic mistake that a lot of people make, which I made right now because I was just trying to show you the setup. But had I been a buyer here, would have been a fine trade. So we'll see if this works. Nah, nothing is working. Okay, let me see what's going on over here. And I'm going to take the S&P trade too, relatively close to the moving average. Still not a great position. I would have loved to have taken it at 48 instead of 49. But the idea here is, could I get it out here at 49.73 quarters? Could I clip it out here? Let's see what happens. Nothing. Wow, it's really surprising at how slow the market is post news. Like almost all the price action happened here, and the first 5 minutes are just doing nothing. Wow. We're really getting killed here. I'm still in my NASDAQ trade, but that looks like it's going to get killed. All right, guys, lovely. I am getting blown out on every single trade I'm taking right now because there's just no continuity today. It's really really amazing. I've taken very, very small size trades. So, no serious damage here, but still not fun to have this happen. We're just literally dead. Usually the first 5-10 minutes we get some nice movement in the trades, and now every single trade did not work so far. Now we're starting to turn negative, and now we're gonna have to be just sort of patient on the negative trades. I mean, literally no movement here. Just yeah, I know it's bad, Colonel. It's the point being is that I try to do a lot of small trades with you guys at the beginning into essentially a very, very dead market, right? Now, the thing I kind of want everybody to appreciate is that yes, I got clipped out 3 or 4 times, but they're tiny 1-point clips. Nothing here that's going to damage me for a significant amount of time. And the day is early. It was only 5 minutes into the game. You'll see once we can get some kind of continuity and traction, hopefully the trades will start working. But this is very surprising price action. I mean, you had big news, and now you literally have no volatility. The volatility just died completely. So we have to just be patient and let the market take its course. I'm taking this trade in NASDAQ because we went. Let me just make sure we closed here. 86. All right, I'm taking this trade one more time. Let's see if let's see if we get some continuity here. So this is we broke the 8-period moving average. Look at this, just no continuity whatsoever. Unbelievable. Wow. So I'm targeting. Let's go to the down. My exit, I'm in at 88, and my exit should be 92.75. And I can't get I can't even get 5 points out of NASDAQ. A really, really crappy price action today. So you can see that it's marked over here at 88 as the mark. And now I'm finally done. I'm finally done, finally showing you the right setup. So first winning trade of the day. Sorry for the for all the churn, but that was the correct trade. Below, above, higher, low, proper structure, kind of worked. Let's see if the S&P is kind enough for us to do the same thing. I'm waiting for the S&P. S&P needs to break above the moving average and close there in order for me to do this trade. Yes, I do, David. But remember, I'm trading small size. I can always ramp my size up, right? I am, and this is very, very unusual. And you're going to have bad days. I mean, that's the whole point of trading live, is that some days will be great, some days will be bad. The key thing is, on the bad days, you control your risk as much as possible. I rarely have. I haven't had a bad start like this in probably a month, but it happens. That's just the whole point of trading, is that you're going to get clipped as long as you maintain discipline and keep control on what it is that your setup is all about, right? So, like right now, S&P closing above the moving average. One of the thing that kills me, and this is a very, very, this just drives me nuts, and this is the one thing I always have to work myself with, is you have to be patient for the candle to close. And then the other part of it is, you want the candle to close as close to the moving average as possible. If it gets too high up, you kind of, like, the profit has already happened in the candle. So, like right now, see, I'm watching this. This is relatively within reason. If it goes much higher than the high of this candle, that's going to be a tough trade. But I'm still going to take it because it's a legitimate up setup. I have 5, 6, 7 seconds left here. Let's see what we got. 2, 1. Okay, I'm in, and I'm in at 48 and a quarter. Well, what happened? Wait. Oh, I got clipped again. Unbelievable. We're not getting any continuity. Wow. Guys, I'm really, really sorry. I'm just getting retraced out on. Oh wait, no, hold on a second. That's weird. Oh wow. Okay, so I'm still in the trade. I guess I must have gotten clipped on one trade, but I'm still in the other trade. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, 40. I'm in at 48 and a quarter. I should be in at 49. Let me see if I can clear this trade. All right. That trade got done. Not a lot of pretty trading, but at least we're putting up a couple of trades that were positive on the board here. Gold broke above the moving average at a lower low. So now I'm going to watch gold. If it dips below, comes back above, that becomes a trade for us as well, right? One of the things that sometimes is frustrating, this happens, first 10 minutes of the market, when it's a lot of choppy volatility, you're going to get this move, and then eventually you're going to get really nice, clean, strong moves like this, big waves. When you get the big waves, it becomes super easy to make these trades. Before that, you see, like right now, we're starting to build a little bit of an uptrend, right? So once we start building a little bit of an uptrend, the wave starts to go up. Any retrace and a move above becomes a much cleaner trade for us. My take profits on the S&P are 3/4, 1 1/4 stop. My take profit on the on the NASDAQ is 5 target, 10 stop. On gold, it's 0.7 one and a half stop. You know, my problem was I was just, you know, not patient enough to let the first 10 minutes of the everybody. I always yell at everybody to tell me to not trade the first 10 minutes of the market, but I wanted to, you know, to get you guys into play, and I probably should, you know, 9 to 9:45 is just the most toxic time to trade the market. So I made my sacrifice for you. Now, hopefully, we get a little bit of cleaner, better moves, and it's going to make it a little bit easier. So what happens now? So we're going to watch gold. Gold is going to dip below, come back above. If that happens, and it does it at a higher level, that presents a pretty decent setup for us on this trade. Yes, I'm trading with a 1 to 2 stop stop and target, because it is typically like an 80% win rate if if I'm in the zone. Today I was just completely not in the zone. I'm just totally not feeling the market. And that happens, you know, sometimes you just, you know, you're out of zone. So today is more like a 40-60 against versus 80-24. Dow also, you know, Dow also showed us a really nice clean setup. I didn't get a chance to take the Dow, but the Dow was a nice clean setup over here, higher low, right? So we can watch the Dow also. If the Dow dips below, comes back above, we definitely want to trade that. Now we just have to wait patiently for the next while. Okay, gold is dipping below, so it's interesting. Let's watch this now. Gold comes down below. $30 seconds left. We'll come back to gold when the candle is up. S&P now is at 50, 52, 51. And the thing, you know, you have to understand that the setup that I show you is like sometimes 1/110th of the potential profit that you could make. And a lot of guys in the room trade the setup much better than I do. I simply trade it on a pure scalp basis. But when you get the wave and you catch the 8-period moving average to the upside, this thing could go, you know, 5-10 points your way. If you want to trade kind of a classically, you know, a small risk, high reward structure. I'm trying to trade high probability trades. Today is just definitely not the day where that's happening. So Dow now is coming down also. Let's get a look at, see where gold is at. All right, gold broke below. Now we're going to watch it. The gold has to kind of hold the lows over here. Can't break the lows over here. If it breaks the lows over here, it invalidates my trade. But if it kind of holds the low, comes back up above, I want to trade that. Dow now is below the 8-period moving average. One of the things I really like doing, we'll have to see if I can get this done, is in these type of and you see it's a mildly bid market. Sometimes what happens is the price will dip below and then actually in the same candle close above. If that's the case, that's actually a pretty good buy, right? That's not the case. We close below the 8-period moving average right now, and we're kind of struggling at the highs here. There's not a lot of buy demand in any of this stuff here, as you can see. Gold is trying to climb back up above the moving average, but it's got to come back around 54.3 for us to do anything about it. It's above here, and it's above on the NASDAQ, so we don't have any trades here. That was just sitting quietly doing nothing. Really quiet price action. Shockingly, I mean, this is the first half hour of the day, and we're doing 20 points in the Dow. We should be doing 200 points in the Dow. Really quiet. All right. I'm watching gold. I missed the trade. I'm sorry, guys. I got gun shy on this. I should have taken the trade here, 54. I'm going to pass it up. But this is a trade that would have worked very nicely. See, it would have traded very nicely. You snooze, you lose. This is unfortunately just lost my nerve a little bit there. I should have taken that trade. I was talking to you about it, and I didn't do it. Anyways, we'll leave it be. Yeah, all the movement was around PPI. It's astounding at how crappy this is. Tomorrow we're going to trade the actual CPI. That's going to be a lot of fun because within this volatility, there was a lot of trades I made this morning that really worked well. And I love to trade volatility. In fact, I live to trade volatility. So when there's no volatility, I die, as you can see. I'm literally dead. Nothing in the in gold. We're just really dead. Yeah. It was actually an interesting. You could trade the same concept with oil, which is a 10-cent, 20-cent stop. There's an interesting trade here on the up and the oil. I just didn't have too many instruments for us to follow. All right. Unfortunately, we can just watch this gold trade pass us by. I didn't take the gold trade. All right, S&P testing the period, the SMA. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Okay, I'm long the S&P. Again, not a fully kosher trade. But the idea here is you can see a little bit. I get a little bit bigger here. We tested the 8-period SMA, and it's not going to work. God damn it, nothing is working for me today. And then came back up above it. So sometimes I like to trade that that trade. It's not quite let's come out below, come back above, but it was enough momentum to make me want to take a bite. But given today's price action where nothing is working, God knows if this is going to work. We'll have to see. I'm long 52s. I'm looking for 52.75s. Jesus Christ. Put a gun to my head, it'd feel better the way this price action is trading. Nothing is nothing is really holding here. We'll have to see. No, nothing is working. It's just like we're dying at the 8-period SMA, and none of the I got clipped on the S&P again for a point and a half. So I will just have to wait patiently until we get setups. Yeah, you're right. Powell's in 10 minutes. That's actually a really good point. That's really what's happening. We have news on the trade, and I'm trying to trade price action against essentially the market waiting for Powell, right? So nothing that the price action is doing is going to be true because they're all going to be just completely jittery off the Powell move. But geez, I forgot to put stops on this now, so we're going to have to manage this manually. Again, I try to buy the moving average. As it closed above, looking for, let me see where my entry is. I'm at 51 and a quarter, so I got to just see 52s. But all right, I'm gonna take it at a half, just because I didn't have the stops and targets on there, so I just didn't want to screw around with this thing. Let's watch NASDAQ. It looks like we're gonna have no price action until Powell talks. In the meantime, gold took off a nice move. The one trade that I should have taken out over here did not, really took off nicely. And where's, okay, S&P now is actually setting up. 12 seconds left. I'm waiting for the candle to close. It didn't close above the moving average, so that's why I didn't pull the trigger, and you can see it kind of just pulled back here. Even the Dow, look at the Dow, it just did not close, again, faked out, up, down, just no continuity whatsoever today. But I'm going to, if this thing closes above the moving average, I'm actually going to take this trade because it's holding the lows at higher lows. It's actually a pretty bullish signal. So we'll see if that trade works out for us. Can I view multiple charts? I can, but it's really hard for you guys to see them. So I like to make it big. I'm really trading for you guys. When I do it myself, I have a couple of screens on here. I'm just cycling through, looking through everything here. So Dow, 25 seconds left. Let's see if the Dow can hold the moving average off a higher low. And if this could be a trade for me, we'll have to see. All right, I'm going to go long here. Really. 603, 13 is my target. And let's see what let's see where we are on the thumb. I'm 603. No, not getting any continuity today, guys. Just sitting here waiting. I guess everybody's waiting for Powell, and today was just not a day to scalp today. The first half hour. Now, the thing about all of this is because I've done this a million times, is you're going to get bad days. You're going to get bad hours, right? This is really a bad hour. The irony of the whole thing is that probably in an hour or two, we're going to get some really strong moves, and we get all the good hours. Unfortunately, the one live hour that I wanted to trade with you guys, I'm just getting nothing done. And you guys see me get decimated today on small size, but, still not fun to get, to really get decimated on just non-continuity. The fact that the Dow can't make 10 points is just a sign of how little volatility there is in the market while everybody's sitting around twiddling their thumbs. Like today is just simply, today there literally is no trades, right? I wanted to do all these trades today, and today I should have done 0 trades. But, the title of the stream is live trading, right? We can all discuss endlessly meaning of life. I wanted to put some trades in front of you. And more importantly, I really wanted you to see the setup. Even if the setup isn't working, it's important to see the setup in action, because once you understand the setup in action, you can replicate it yourself in better market conditions, right? You can see what I'm doing and then try it yourself, obviously, on whatever reasonable size there is, and then get into the rhythm with that setup. I'm obviously out of the rhythm with the setup today. So I'm sitting at 13. Yeah, I am. Steve was saying I'm showing honesty. Well, we trade for real every day, and not every day is a beautiful day. But every day we try hard. I think I'm done. All right, so I did manage. Okay, we finally managed to create a classic, 8-period scalp setup. A little bit of a Pyrrhic victory, but at least you see the structure, right? Let me kind of deconstruct this with you for those of you who are watching, so you can totally understand what was going on here. So I'm going to go circle. So first order of business you see is that we cross the 8-period SMA over here, right? We create this particular mark of a low, right? Then we go up, right? And this particular move actually fails, right? It goes up, it fails, right? However, and this is, I think it fails because if you bought 19, we had a 20-point stop. It literally would have just clipped you out. Now, one of the things, by the way, that we always teach, this is a much more of a nuanced approach when I'm not trying to do a million trades. Is Powell saying anything intelligent? Looks like whoa, everything just went negative. What happened here? Let me see if Powell is saying anything intelligent. Hang on, let's just go to financial juice here. See if you guys can see. Heads up, Powell, 20 minutes. What are the headlines? I don't see anything on the headlines. All right, let's go back to the charts. Gold is pumping. Maybe Powell is. It's interesting. No news on Powell at all. Anyways, let me go back to the YM chart. I thought there was something that was going on here to kind of explain to you. So this is a low. This is a higher low, kind of fails. But then we have a second move. And the key thing here is you notice the lows over here don't break this low. they kind of hold. That's why I went long here, because I thought it was generally bullish that it held the lows. You can use this setup. Now I use it in a short scalping methodology, but you can use the setup in a longer structure just as well. You could simply take this and create a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio where you're risking 20, trying to go for 40, and you may extend the 40-point trade here occasionally if the setup works. The point being is that when you watch the 8-period moving average and you watch the highs and the lows, it's like a beautiful wave, right? And that wave is what you want to try and catch all the time. Like this is why the PPI was such a great trade. You had the move, you had this basically spike lows post PPI. The YM makes a low here, right? Then it comes back below. It doesn't even come close to testing this low. So buying this break over here was a nice clean trade, right? Still over here, consolidates. Buying this was a nice clean break, right? Now it makes a fresh low over here, so you're a little bit more cautious. Then it makes, actually buying this trade would have been fine, because you see how these lows didn't break this low. You're looking every time at the lows prior to the prior lows that were below the moving average. Your current lows below the moving average, are they higher than the prior lows below the moving average? The answer is yes. And the break of the 8 SMA is a pretty good trade, which is exactly what I was trying to do here, right? Just trying to look for a little bit of continuity here on the move. Now, what's going on over here? Here, you get a very, very negative slope on the SMA. We're kind of selling off, right? Nothing much is going on. So a much more intelligent way of trading than the one I've been doing with you guys today, because I'm just trying to rush a lot of trades, is even if this thing crosses the 8-period moving SMA, we let that one go. We let that one go, as that's the first foray into potentially a turn trade. If and only if it dips below, comes back above at a higher level, then we go on the second trade. Going in on the second trade is where you create the highest probability entry. But right now we're not even at the first cross on this move. Watching the I'm actually watching the S&P right now here too. So the S&P also got stuck at the highs. Now this low is actually lower than this prior low, right? And so if we break the lows over here, which is around 40, what is that? 47.50. I mean, it's kind of nonsense. Then it's it's an interesting buy. If we kind of close above here, maybe the S&P becomes a possible buy for us over here. You see how the lows over here so far haven't breached the lows over here, and we're reaching for the 8-period SMA. So maybe worth a shot, but it's got to close above it. It's 7 seconds left. I still don't love this trade. I don't love this trade because the S&P just kind of been dying at these levels, and not really working. But we'll take it. Let's just we got to just stay honest to our setup. 50 and a quarter, targeting 51, because that is the legitimate setup of the trade. Even though today the market just shows no continuity whatsoever. So I'm fighting the bigger aspect of the market, which is that it's not showing any continuity. But I'm still practicing what is the proper setup, which means now I got my target should be at 51. Let me see if it's properly marked. I'm at 51. Yeah, I'm at 51. All right. So let's see if we can get any juice towards 51 on this move here. And sometimes it's like, or it's sitting at 51, no offers. All right. Well, I'm staying patient with it. I'm going to stay patient with the 51s. I'm going to stick to my setup, win or die, because I want to show you process. Yeah. See, this is actually a good for you guys to kind of see the ladder to understand what was happening there. So I was one of the earliest ones in the queue. You saw there was like about 100, and now Powell talks, and I got my profit done, and everything falls apart because he's probably saying something negative. But kind of understanding the mechanics of the ladder, I just kind of wanted to show you. When you saw on the ladder there was about 100 contracts on the offer, right? And yet I got done. The reason I got done was because I was sitting early. I was one of the first contracts in queue, and I knew that if they swept up there and there was any kind of market order coming in to buy market, I was going to be the first one filled, which is what happened. I got filled before the sweep, and that's the other advantage of doing a stop target entry, because if you're sitting there for a minute, you're generally going to be the first one behind, on that trade. And now we're starting to, to pop back up. I guess he's saying something bullish. But the other thing that I kind of wanted to kind of talk to you about today is trading is really like playing sports. If you guys, how many of you guys like play golf? I don't play golf, but how many of you guys, play tennis or play golf? You know how sometimes you're coming out and the first set, you are just flat. You can't hit a single thing. You're missing strokes. You are hitting into the net. You just have no rhythm. It doesn't, the game, right? You know the game, but you just have no rhythm. Sometimes, the day is bad. Sometimes the weather is bad, like the market is bad. And what do? You don't change your game. You don't say, oh, I'm never going to play tennis again. I'm never going to hit again because I hit a couple of balls into the net. You just keep hitting the strokes until you get the rhythm. And what you're seeing today is me slowly starting to get the rhythm, right? Hitting 2, 3, 4 in a row on good quality trades. And that's what you need to do. Like, I'm sorry I put you guys through the misery of the buzzsaw, but then, that was the market. The market was just basically a buzzsaw right now in the first 20 minutes, which is very unusual because look at it. I just want to show you. This is today's market, right? 9:30 to 10 o'clock. And look what it usually looks like on a 9:30 to 10 o'clock basis. Let me just take you to yesterday, because it's going to be much more emblematic of what markets look like on a regular basis. On a regular basis, markets don't stay flat. You see this? This is the first half hour of the market. You have activity, then you have counter activity. You have lots and lots of movement. The fact that we were literally like this, for first half hour, very unusual. And that is just bad market weather. Just happens. So you play through it. That's basically what I'm trying to do today. And I played through it. I caught the moves in the S&P. I caught the move in the Dow, NASDAQ. I didn't get a chance to trade the NASDAQ. We're starting to get Powell comments. Let's see what Powell's got to say. Let's see if he's saying anything. Oh, no. Yeah, I want to leave the site. Confidence in inflation moving back down is lower than it was. We expect labor market to continue to rebalance. We expect GDP growth better. Inflation count was notable for the lack of further progress. He's saying nothing. He's basically saying, I think it might get worse, but I don't think so. All right, so it's not grossly helping or hurting the market, but the market seems to kind of like it. What are we doing on the NASDAQ? Okay, so let's watch NASDAQ. We got NASDAQ is kind of interesting. From just an analytics point of view, right? We're going to look at the NASDAQ right now. Oops. You know what? I'll use the ellipsis. Ellipsis is just as good. Okay, so the last time we crossed was over here, right? I'm trying to move this thing. Right over here. I wonder if I can do, let me see if I do a pink fill. No, I'm going to do a little bit sharper. Maybe this. I can't, I need a good, like a purple. All right, maybe purple. You guys see this a little bit better? right? So this one is a lower low. Just kind of show you why, why I didn't want to take this thing. It's a lower low. However, a dip here and a dip above, higher low. I want to take that trade. I want to take that trade if I get that move. That's what I'm looking for on NASDAQ right now. So dip below, move above, nice UE at a higher level. Yes, I want that. S&P moving nice and high. Again, same thing with the S&P. If the S&P dips below, comes back above, yes, I want that. Dow, remember how we were sweating the 13 Dow? Dow is now 53. So if you took that trade and held it, instead of just, took a small profit, that was a 40-point trade instead of a 10-point trade. If you're a trend trader. So you can use the setup a million different ways. Just wanted that's my whole point, is I wanted to really show you the process, and then you can unleash you any way you like. So now here's gold. Okay, so gold is interesting. So gold had a big run up. Gold is very spiky, by the way. So now gold is actually, you see this low over here, it broke below, stayed below. We broke these lows. Even if it goes back up, I'm not a buyer. I'm not a buyer here. I need it to go back up and then go back up again on a higher low for me to be a buyer. That's how you you filter out problematic trades. On the other hand, low, high, right? Stop. You ignore this one. You don't take this one, even though this was a good trade. This is you want the first good trade to be empty. The second good trade, boom, nice and easy. Totally easy trade here, right? And that's how we we make a clean analytical setup here. All right, S&P coming in. All of it is just chopping on Powell. So I'm going to be interesting to see if they, if now they sell off completely, because he makes it sound like he's not going to cut rates. So watching this, now we're below the S. So again, let me see back to my little ovals here. This is a low, right? If this this is a low, that if it recovers the moving average, that creates a legitimate buy for us. So I'm going to preset myself up here, and we'll see. We'll play it by ear. We'll see it. We'll see if it can recover. There are two ways this thing can play out right now. We had a pretty sharp sell-off, and if it continues to be a sharp sell-off, this whole thing is going to curl to the downside. It's really not going to be a trade unless we kind of stabilize around this region and come back up and curl back up again. But if we start breaking the lows over here, then I no longer have a genuine setup. And I already don't like the setup nearly as much, because it's quite a lot of sell-off here. And the only way this setup kind of becomes more interesting is if we consolidate 3 or 4 bars into the future around these levels without breaking any of these lows, and then retake the moving average somewhere a little bit lower, at a better entry price. I don't like taking the moving average from here. Is kind of sucky, but all of this gives you directional positionality of where you should be and how you should be thinking about the trade on a short-term basis. You guys following what I'm saying to you? Anybody want to give me a yes, no? Now we're breaking lower, and now it becomes kind of, so long as we sort of hold these levels, it's still a mildly level trade. But now we are fully 7 basis. If this thing turns red, that means we're 7 basis points away from moving average. It's a mean reversion trade, and then then it really starts to pull away. Now we're really breaking away. So it kind of gets much more negative on the construct. The cool thing about this is we did not jump at this opportunity. We didn't force ourselves into any kind of a trade. Same thing with NASDAQ. NASDAQ is now starting to pull away into the red zone, which means that we could be having a much more steeper sell-off here, and it may be 11 o'clock before the price action kind of settles down. So I'll stay with you guys for another 10 minutes, but then I got to go. But it may be like another hour before we kind of stabilize if we want to trade it to the upside. Now, if you guys want to fool around and we do one more punt trade, before the end of the session, the punt trade that I like to do is if we got these red candles, we're really, really stretched away from the moving average, right? What I'm watching for right now, as a counter trend trade, not as a continuation trade, as a counter trend trade, if I can actually get it, because I may not be able to get it, is I'm looking for a candle that makes a higher low. In this case, unfortunately, this candle just made a lower low, but would have been a good buy. And then if it does that, we try to trade back up to the moving average, pop it back up to the moving average. Let's see if this is making lower lows. S&P is making lower lows. So it's not, there's no trades here. No really pull away trades. So if this thing clears the moving average, not really a trade because it kind of matches the lows here, right? Same thing with the definitely with the S&P that made fresh lows. So what I have to do if I'm trading that consistently is if it breaks the moving average, I have to wait patiently, let it break it again at a higher level, and then I'm willing to buy it. If it doesn't do that, there's no point in me participating. Yeah, range trading is are you saying that today is range trading, Srimar? Or are you just saying that range trading generally versus, what I'm trying to do is different? Okay, just for shits and giggles. Just for shits and giggles, I took this trade. Again, a move towards the moving average. This is not a standard trade. Don't try this at home. I just took it for fun. The idea being is that you can see in this particular trade, this was a higher low. So if I actually should have taken the trade here. I was a little bit late on the trade. Again, the key thing is execution on these trades. So I'll just take the 25. I'll take the 25 on this as a scalp. This is just a fun trade, a fun scalp trade. If you guys ever want to do counter trend, again, you must do this only when you see higher lows. By the way, now it would have totally filled me. And you got to time it very, very perfectly. I was talking, so I was, I can't chew gum and walk at the same time. But the trade was the right trade over here, and now we start to really, really pop towards the moving average. If you ever want to do a counter trend trade, this is a really cute, cool little counter trend trick, and it's always very helpful when I have my indicator because it can only be initiated when you have a massive pull away from moving average. When you get this big, red signal, only then, do you get the trade. Now, by the way, we got no, even if this thing closes above the moving average, not a trade. We're going to let that one go. Let it, let's say it makes money. Great. Zeigesund, as we say, go with the wind, because what we're looking for now is stabilization and a move back up as the day progresses. This is a V-shaped recovery, and V-shaped recoveries are great, but they're also very, very low probability. So we don't trade. We let the V-shaped recovery kind of set us up for the next continuation trade if we can get that. There was nothing special in gold. Gold has just been dead. So gold also not a trade. This is looking at gold right now. Gold would have been an interesting trade off the reds, the whites that we like to do. But this is not a trade that I want to do in gold because it's a lower low. You see this lower lows. So with gold, I have to wait for it to come back down below, come back up above at a higher level. If that happens, then I want to be long gold. But I'm running out of time. So not that many trades. Anyways, guys, today not the best of trading conditions for us. Having a 1-point range for the first half hour of market certainly didn't help things. But in life, it's not how you start; it's how you finish. We finished with 4 consecutive winners. I showed you the setups. I showed you the process. Hope you guys really enjoyed that at least. And tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's going to be a really fun day because tomorrow we got the CPI. Kay is going to come trade with me, and we're going to have the post like right away post-event CPI. That's going to be hopefully lots of volatility, and I'll be able to trade them with much better rhythm. So I did catch my rhythm at the end of the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And I will see you guys tomorrow, and we'll keep on doing this. It's a lifelong process. Any given day isn't certainly going to make any impact. Thanks a lot, guys. Everybody have a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Everybody enjoy. Bye-bye.